The barn door creaked and I froze, heart pounding like a drum in my chest. Evelyn's hand, warm and steady, tugged me inside. Her whispered, "Trust me," cutting through the summer dusk. I was 22 and I'd never felt a pull this strong, not to a place, not to a person, not to a moment that could unravel everything I thought I knew. Clara, that's me, had spent every summer since I was a kid at my mom's old farmhouse in rural Vermont. It was 2025, and I was back from college, restless, with a heart full of questions I couldn't name. Mom's friend Evelyn had been a fixture in our lives forever. The cool aunt I never had, always showing up with stories of her travels and a smile that made you feel seen. She was 38, confident, with auburn hair that caught the sunlight like fire and green eyes that seemed to know things I didn't. This summer, though, something was different. The air between us crackled like static before a storm. That evening, Mom was at a book club in town, leaving me and Evelyn alone at the house. I'd been restless, pacing the porch when she grabbed her jacket and said, "Come with me to the barn. I want to show you something." Her voice had a weight to it, like she was offering more than just a walk. I followed, my sneakers crunching on the gravel path, my stomach twisting with something I couldn't name: fear, excitement, or both. The barn was old, its red paint peeling, but inside it was warm, alive with the scent of hay and earth. Lanterns hung from the rafters, casting a soft glow. Evelyn shut the door behind us, and the world outside vanished. "Clara," she said, turning to me, her voice low, "there's something I've been wanting to tell you." Her eyes locked on mine, and I swear I forgot how to breathe. Then she stepped closer, her hand brushing mine, and my whole body lit up like a spark had been struck. I'd always known I was different. Growing up in a small town, I'd felt it in the way I'd linger on certain glances from girls in high school, the way my heart raced watching movies with women who loved fiercely, unapologetically. But I'd buried it, told myself it was a phase, that I'd figure it out later. College hadn't helped. Dating guys felt like reading a script I didn't believe in. And now, here was Evelyn, someone I'd known my whole life, looking at me like I was the only thing in the world that mattered. "Do you ever feel like you're hiding?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I nodded, my throat tight. She stepped closer still, her fingers intertwining with mine, and I felt a rush of warmth, of rightness, like a puzzle piece clicking into place. "I've been hiding too," she said. "For years. But not anymore." Her words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. I wanted to ask what she meant, but my voice caught. Instead, I let her pull me toward a stack of hay bales where we sat, our knees brushing. She told me about her life, how she'd loved women since she was my age but had kept it quiet, even from Mom, her best friend. "Your mom doesn't know," she said, her voice cracking. "I never told her. I was scared she'd look at me differently. I thought of Mom, warm and kind but rooted in the traditions of our small town. Would she understand? Would she accept Evelyn or me if she knew?" The thought made my chest ache, but sitting there with Evelyn, her hand in mine, I felt braver than I ever had. "I think I'm like you," I admitted, the words spilling out before I could stop them. "I've always felt wrong somehow, like I'm not who everyone thinks I am." Evelyn's eyes softened and she squeezed my hand. "You're not wrong, Clara. You're just you. And that's enough." Her words were a lifeline, pulling me from the doubts I'd carried for years. I wanted to say more, to ask her everything, but then she leaned in, her breath warm against my cheek, and kissed me. It wasn't like the kisses I'd had before, awkward, fumbling things with boys I didn't care about. This was soft, urgent, like she was pouring years of longing into it. I kissed her back, my hands finding her face, her hair, my heart racing so fast I thought it might burst. The world narrowed to just us, the barn, the lantern's glow. For the first time I felt whole. But then we heard the crunch of tires on gravel. Mom was back. We pulled apart, breathless, my mind spinning. Evelyn's eyes were wide, but she smiled, a small secret thing. "We'll figure this out," she whispered. "Together." As we slipped out of the barn, my heart was a storm of hope and fear. I didn't know what came next, but I knew one thing. I wasn't alone anymore. The next morning, I woke with Evelyn's kiss still burning on my lips, a memory so vivid it felt like a dream I could step back into. Sunlight streamed through my bedroom window, but my mind was in the barn, replaying every word, every touch. I was terrified and alive, caught between wanting to run to Evelyn and wanting to hide from what it all meant. Breakfast was torture. Mom bustled around the kitchen, humming, oblivious to the secret I carried like a live wire. Evelyn joined us, her smile easy but her eyes flickering to me, a silent question in them. I couldn't meet her gaze, not with Mom right there chatting about her book club. "Clara, you're quiet today," Mom said, setting a plate of pancakes in front of me. "Everything okay?" "Yeah," I mumbled, my voice barely convincing. Evelyn's foot brushed mine under the table, a fleeting touch that sent my pulse racing. I shot her a look, not here, but she just sipped her coffee, her expression unreadable. I wanted to scream, to tell her how much last night had changed me, but the weight of Mom's presence kept me silent. Later, Evelyn suggested we take a walk to the lake, a place we'd gone to as kids. Mom waved us off, happy to have the house to herself. The path wound through wildflowers, the summer air thick with the buzz of cicadas. Evelyn walked close, her arm brushing mine, and I felt that pull again, magnetic and undeniable. "You okay after last night?" she asked, her voice soft. I stopped, turning to face her. "I don't know what I am," I admitted. "That kiss, it was everything. But what happens now? What if Mom finds out? What if—" My voice broke and I looked away, the lake shimmering in the distance like a promise I couldn't reach. Evelyn took my hand, her touch steadying me. "I know it's scary," she said. "I've spent years running from this, from who I am. But last night, with you, I felt free for the first time in forever. I don't have all the answers, Clara, but I know I don't want to lose this." Her words lit something in me, a spark of courage I hadn't known I had. I squeezed her hand, my heart pounding. "I don't want to lose it either," I said. "But Mom, she's your best friend. If she doesn't understand, it could ruin everything." Evelyn's face tightened, and I saw the weight she carried, the years of hiding who she was. "I'll talk to her," she said finally. "Not yet, but soon. She deserves to know. And so do you." Her voice was firm, but her eyes were soft, and when she pulled me into a hug, I let myself melt into her, the world fading away. That afternoon we spent hours by the lake, talking about everything and nothing: her travels, my dreams of being a writer, the way we both loved the quiet of the countryside. Every laugh, every glance felt like a step toward something bigger, something real. But the shadow of Mom loomed over us, a reminder that this wasn't just our story. When we got back to the house, Mom was waiting on the porch, her expression odd. "You two were gone a while," she said, her tone light but her eyes sharp. My stomach dropped. Had she seen something? Sensed it? Evelyn played it off, joking about getting lost in the wildflowers, but I could barely breathe. That night, as I lay in bed, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were on the edge of something unstoppable, something that could either set us free or break us apart. Days passed, and the tension between Evelyn and me grew like a current, electric and dangerous. We stole moments, a brush of hands in the kitchen, a shared look when Mom wasn't watching, but every touch felt like a risk, a step closer to discovery. I was falling for her hard, and it scared me as much as it thrilled me. One evening, Mom suggested a bonfire, a tradition from my childhood. We set it up in the backyard, the flames casting shadows across the grass. Evelyn sat across from me, her face glowing in the firelight, and I couldn't stop staring. Mom noticed. "Clara, you're awfully quiet again," she said, her voice teasing but with an edge I didn't like. "What's going on with you?" "Nothing," I said too quickly, my cheeks burning. Evelyn jumped in, telling a story about a camping trip gone wrong, her voice smooth, deflecting Mom's attention. But I saw the way Mom's eyes lingered on us, like she was piecing something together. My heart raced, not just from fear but from the realization that I didn't want to hide anymore. I wanted to be seen with Evelyn as myself. Later, when Mom went inside to grab more firewood, Evelyn leaned close, her voice low. "She's starting to suspect something," she said. "We need to be careful." But her hand found mine in the dark, and careful was the last thing I wanted to be. I wanted to kiss her right there, in front of the fire, in front of the world. Instead, I nodded, my throat tight with everything I couldn't say. The next day, Evelyn suggested we fix up the barn, a project to keep us busy. We spent hours painting, laughing, stealing glances when we thought the other wasn't looking. But the work gave us time to talk, really talk. She told me about her first love, a woman she'd met in college who broke her heart when she wasn't ready to come out. "I spent so long being afraid," she said, her paintbrush paused mid-stroke. "I don't want that for you, Clara. You deserve to live your truth." Her words hit me like a wave. I'd spent years hiding, convincing myself I could be someone I wasn't. But with Evelyn, I saw a future where I didn't have to pretend. I want that, I said, my voice shaking. I want to be brave. For you. For me. She smiled, a sad, beautiful thing, and pulled me into a kiss, paint smudged on her cheek. It was reckless, with Mom just a shout away in the house, but I didn't care. For that moment it was just us, and it was enough. But that night everything changed. I was in my room when I heard raised voices downstairs, Mom and Evelyn. I crept to the stairs, my heart pounding. You're different around her, Evelyn, Mom was saying, her voice sharp. What's going on? Don't lie to me. I held my breath, waiting for Evelyn's answer, knowing it could change everything. I stood frozen on the stairs, Mom's words echoing in my head. Evelyn's voice was calm but strained. Lila, I'm not lying, she said. Clara's just. She's special. She's figuring herself out, and I'm trying to help her. My heart sank. She wasn't telling the whole truth, but I understood why. Mom wasn't ready, not for this. Help her. Mom's voice rose. She's been acting strange all summer, and you're always with her. Evelyn, you're my best friend. If something's going on, I need to know. The silence that followed was deafening. I wanted to run down to confess everything, but my feet wouldn't move. Finally, Evelyn spoke, her voice soft but steady. I care about her, Lila. More than I should. I didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. My breath caught. She was doing it, was telling Mom, risking everything. I waited, heart pounding, for Mom's response. You. What? Mom's voice was a mix of shock and anger. Evelyn, she's my daughter. She's half your age. What are you saying? I couldn't stay hidden anymore. I stepped into the living room, my hands shaking. Mom, I said, my voice barely audible. It's not just her. It's me too. Mom's eyes widened, darting between us. Clara, what are you talking about? She asked, her voice trembling. I took a deep breath, the words I'd held back for years spilling out. I'm in love with her, Mom. I'm gay. I've known it for a long time, but I was scared to tell you. Evelyn. She makes me feel like I can be myself. The room went still. Mom's face was a storm of emotions, confusion, hurt, fear. Clara, she whispered. Why didn't you tell me? Her voice broke and I felt a pang of guilt. But before I could answer, Evelyn stepped forward. Lila, I should have told you sooner. I've loved women my whole life, but I kept it from you because I was afraid. I'm so sorry. Mom sank onto the couch, her hands covering her face. I need time, she said finally. I don't understand this. I need to think. She looked at me, her eyes wet. Clara, I love you. But this. It's a lot. She stood and left the room, the silence heavy in her wake. Evelyn reached for my hand, but I pulled away, my chest tight. What if she never accepts this? I asked, tears burning my eyes. Evelyn's face was pained, but she didn't back down. She loves you, she said. She'll come around. And no matter what, I'm here. The next few days were a blur of tension. Mom barely spoke to me, her smiles forced, her eyes distant. Evelyn stayed, but I could see the strain on her. The guilt of coming between us. I felt torn between the woman I loved and the mother I couldn't bear to lose. But I knew one thing. I couldn't go back to hiding who I was. A week later, I found Mom sitting on the porch, staring at the horizon. The silence between us had grown unbearable. A wall I didn't know how to climb. Evelyn had given us space, staying at a friend's house in town, but her absence felt like a hole in my chest. I sat beside Mom, my heart heavy. Can we talk? I asked. She nodded, her eyes tired. Clara, I've been trying to understand, she said. I grew up in a different world. I never thought. I didn't know you were struggling with this. Her voice cracked, and I saw the love behind her pain. I'm scared for you. The world can be cruel to people who are different. I know, I said, my voice soft. But hiding who I am is crueler. Evelyn showed me I don't have to do that anymore. I love her, Mom. And I love you. I don't want to lose either of you. Mom was quiet for a long time, then reached for my hand. I don't want to lose you either, she said. I don't understand everything, but I'm trying. I just need time. Tears spilled down my cheeks and I hugged her, the first real connection we'd had in days. That night, I called Evelyn, asking her to come back. When she arrived, Mom was waiting. The conversation was awkward, full of pauses and careful words. But Mom listened as Evelyn shared her story, her fears, her hopes, her love for me. "I never meant to hurt you, Lila," Evelyn said. "But I can't change who I am. And I won't let Clara feel like she has to." Mom nodded, her face softening. "I don't know how to do this," she admitted. "But you're family, Evelyn. And Clara's my world. We'll figure it out." It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. Over the next weeks, Mom asked questions, sometimes clumsy, sometimes painful, but always with love. Evelyn and I grew closer. Our love no longer a secret, but a truth we lived openly. The barn became our place, a reminder of the night that changed everything. Years later, I'd look back on that summer as the one where I found myself. Evelyn and I built a life together, not without challenges, but with a love that made every fight worth it. Mom became our biggest ally, marching with us at Pride, her smile brighter than the sun. The world wasn't always kind, but we had each other, and that was enough. In the end, love didn't just win, it taught us all how to be brave, how to be true, how to be whole. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to get notifications about next videos.